Picture this, the sun dipping low over the dusty hills outside Jerusalem, casting long shadows that swallow the world whole. It's just days after the impossible has happened, the tomb empty, the stone rolled away, whispers of resurrection rippling through the air like a secret too big to contain. But not everyone gets to hear the full story, not the crowds, not the curious. No, Jesus pulls aside a handful of his closest, a quiet circle of souls who've walked through fire with him, their faces etched with the kind of weariness that comes from seeing too much, feeling too deeply. They're huddled in a forgotten olive grove, away from the Roman patrols and the temple guards, the air thick with the scent of wild thyme and earth still warm from the day. He looks at them, his eyes holding that steady fire, and says something that stops their hearts. You've been chosen, but not all chosen are the same. There are strands within you, ties to the divine, that bind you to this world in ways the powers above and below fear to acknowledge. You've felt it, haven't you? That pull in your chest right now, as if some ancient voice is whispering your name. You're not here by accident. Scrolling through your feed after another long day at the office, kids' soccer practices blurring into dinner that's thrown together from whatever's left in the fridge, and suddenly this video catches your eye. It's not just another feel-good spiritual talk. It's a key turning in a lock you didn't even know was there. If you're over 35, grinding through the American dream that's starting to feel more like a cage, bills stacking up, relationships fraying at the edges, that nagging sense that Sunday church or your meditation app isn't quite filling the void, then listen close. This isn't about vague promises or quick fixes. It's about Jesus unveiling a truth buried for centuries, scorched from ancient texts by those who built empires on control. 8 soul tie types, he called them. Unique vibrations etched into the chosen ones, like you. And here's the gut punch. Only one of them holds the power to shatter the invisible matrix that's got us all dancing to someone else's tune. Think about your life for a second. The way you wake up some mornings with this unexplained heaviness, like the weight of the world is pressing down before your feet even hit the floor. Attention, you need to prepare now. I put together an exclusive resource for those who feel set apart for something greater, but live surrounded by noise, distractions, and mental overload. This is a 30-day journey that will transform your life. A guided path to armor your mind and prepare for what's coming with daily practices of focus, boundaries, and discipline. Stop negotiating with the noise. Learn to spot distractions before they control you. And strengthen your mind. Also available in an immersive audio version. Over 10 Zuru readers have already transformed their lives through the 30-day journey. Thousands of people have already started this transformation. People like you who are tired of living in the fog. Ordinary people who decided to stop accepting mental chaos. Take advantage of this limited time offer only this month. Access your link just below in the pinned comment. Or those nights when the house is quiet, everyone asleep, and you stare at the ceiling, wondering why success, the house, the car, the 401k, feels so hollow. It's not depression, not burnout, not midlife crisis like the therapists label it. It's a calling echoing from deeper than your bones, a soul tie pulling you towards something bigger. Jesus knew this. In that hidden grove, he leaned in and said, "The world is woven with threads of illusion, a matrix of control, spun by forces that fear the light. But you, my chosen, carry ties that can either sustain it or snap it wide open." And as he spoke, the air seemed to hum, the leaves rustling like they were listening too. You're nodding right now, aren't you? Because you've tried fitting in, joining the PTA, climbing the corporate ladder, posting the perfect family pics on Instagram. But it all feels like playing a role in someone else's script. That disconnect, it's your soul tie awakening, signaling you're not meant for the ordinary grind. Authorities through history, emperors, popes, shadowy councils have hunted these teachings, burning scrolls and silencing voices because they threaten the order. But here, in this moment, it's resurfacing for you. Press your hand to your heart again. Feel that warmth. That's the echo Jesus promised, drawing you to uncover your type among the 8. And if you're the 8th, well, that changes everything. But we'll get there. First, let's walk through what it means to carry one of these ties, why it shows up in your daily battles, and how embracing it sets you free. Imagine you're at a family barbecue, the smell of charcoal grilling burgers wafting through the backyard, laughter bubbling up from cousins you haven't seen in years. Everyone's chatting about promotions, new vacations, the latest Netflix binge. But you're on the edges, nursing a soda, your mind drifting to questions no one else seems to ask. Why are we here? What's the point of all this hustle if it ends in dust? That isolation isn't loneliness. It's the first symptom of a chosen soul tie stirring. For Americans like us, pushing 40 or beyond, these signs hit hard in the quiet moments. The drive home from work with traffic crawling like molasses, radio droning on about politics that feel rigged, and a sudden wave of unease washing over you. You've got the mortgage, the minivan, the Sunday potluck at church, but inside, it's like a radio tuned to a frequency the world's not broadcasting. Take Sarah from Ohio, a mom of 2 in her late 40s, teaching high school English. She'd always been the reliable one, volunteering for every committee, smiling through the exhaustion. But lately, grading papers at her kitchen table, the fluorescent light buzzing overhead, she'd feel this itch, like her skin didn't fit right. Conversations with colleagues about lesson plans or weekend plans left her drained, as if words were bouncing off an invisible wall. "It's like I'm watching everyone else live," she told her journal one night, the house creaking in the winter wind outside. That was her soul tie calling, the subtle alienation that marks the chosen. Not everyone feels it. Your neighbor might thrive in the 9-to-5 rhythm, but you're wired different, sensing the undercurrents, the unseen strings pulling at society. And it's not just emotional. These symptoms weave into your body too. The tension headaches after board meetings, where decisions feel soulless. The restless nights tossing in sheets that suddenly feel too confining. You've probably chalked it up to stress, popped an Advil, and powered through. But Jesus saw this coming. In that post-resurrection hush, he described how the matrix, that web of consumerism, media manipulation, endless distractions, feeds on souls who don't question it. Your discomfort? It's resistance, a divine spark refusing to dim. For folks in their 30s and 40s, juggling careers and kids, it shows up as impatience with small talk, a pull towards solitary walks in the park, where the rustle of leaves speaks louder than any podcast. But why does this happen? Why you, right now, in this chapter of life? The truth is, these soul ties aren't random. They're etched into your essence before birth, a sacred blueprint from the divine architect. Science backs this in ways that might surprise you. Quantum physicists talk about entanglement, how particles linked across vast distances influence each other instantly, defying space and time. Your soul tie? It's that entanglement with higher realms, a vibration that the control matrix tries to dampen with its noise. Jesus revealed the causes in layers, starting with the fall from Eden. Not just a story, but a metaphor for humanity's disconnection from source. The powers that be, those unseen forces Paul warned about in Ephesians, built systems to keep us tethered low. Debt cycles that chain families, algorithms that hijack attention, even the subtle poison in processed foods that fogs the mind. Few people understand this next part. The matrix isn't just out there, it's in the mirrors we hold up to ourselves, the doubts whispered by a culture that worships the visible. For chosen ones, the cause runs deeper. Ancestral echoes, past life imprints bleeding into this one, amplified by the spiritual warfare raging unseen. Think of it like a radio signal jammed by static. Your soul tie is the clear frequency, but life's interferences, toxic relationships, unfulfilling jobs crank up the noise. And here's where it gets personal. If you've faced betrayal, loss, or that nagging feeling of being an outsider in your own family, it's not punishment. It's preparation, forging your tie stronger for the role you're meant to play. Let's lean into the first soul tie type, the one Jesus called the seer. These are the souls who see beyond the veil, picking up on truths others miss. Symptoms hit early, in childhood, maybe staring at clouds and sensing stories in their shapes, or as an adult, walking into a room and feeling the emotional undercurrents like a tangible fog. You've done this, haven't you? At a friend's dinner party, the clink of glasses and chatter flowing, but you sense the tension between the hosts, unspoken resentments hanging heavy. Seers carry this gift as both blessing and burden. It isolates because the world demands surface-level living. The cause? A direct line to divine intuition, unfiltered by ego, which the Matrix fears because seers expose illusions, like spotting the manipulative ads disguised as empowerment. But embracing it, that's where transformation begins. Jesus taught simple steps, daily quietude, 5 minutes of breath-focused prayer each morning, journaling the visions that come. Sarah, our Ohio teacher, discovered she was a seer during a church retreat. Amid the hymns and fellowship, she saw flashes, symbols of her students' hidden struggles. At first, it overwhelmed her, but following the path, she started sharing gentle insights, watching lives shift. It was like colors blooming in a black and white world, she said later. If this resonates, pause the video for a second, breathe deep, and ask, do I see what others don't? Now shifting gears, consider the second type, the healer. These souls are drawn to mend what's broken, not just bodies but spirits. Symptoms manifest in empathy overload, absorbing a loved one's pain like it's your own, leaving you wiped out after family gatherings, where old wounds resurface. Picture Thanksgiving dinner, turkey aromas filling the air, but you're tuning into your siblings' buried grief over a lost job, your chest tightening in response. The cause lies in a soul tie woven with Christ's compassion, a vibration that channels restorative energy. Science echoes this with studies on mirror neurons, how we literally feel others' emotions. But for healers, it's amplified, a tool the Matrix perverts into codependency to keep them drained. Transformation comes through boundaries and practice. Jesus modeled it, healing the multitudes but retreating to pray. For the healer, concrete steps include energy-shielding visualizations. Imagine a golden light encasing you before interactions, releasing absorbed pain at day's end with a ritual bath or walk. Meet Tom from Texas, a 42-year-old mechanic whose hands seem to fix more than engines. Customers lingered after repairs, unburdening souls until the weight crushed him. Learning his tie, he set limits, incorporated prayer circles, and now runs a small support group at his garage. His life? From survival to service, a quiet revolution. What if your tie pulls you toward protection? That's the third type, the guardian. Symptoms show as hypervigilance, scanning rooms for threats, a knot in your stomach during news broadcasts painting doomsday scenarios. In the checkout line at Walmart, fluorescent lights humming. You overhear snippets of worry and feel compelled to shield the vulnerable, like the single mom ahead juggling coupons. Causes traced to angelic alignments, souls tasked with safeguarding the flock, which the Matrix counters with fear-mongering media to exhaust them. Quantum biology suggests innate threat detection evolved for survival, but in Guardians, it's spiritual radar. The path forward, grounding exercises, rooting walks in nature, affirming protection scriptures like Psalm 91. Lisa, a nurse in Florida pushing 50, always the family enforcer during hurricanes, felt her guardian tie snap into focus after a storm. Sheltering strangers in her home, she realized her exhaustion stemmed from unchanneled energy. Now she leads community drills, her vigilance a beacon. If you're the one everyone leans on in crises, this might be you. But before we dive deeper, imagine what happens when these ties clash with the Matrix's grip. You've felt the friction, right? That inner war where your intuition screams one way, but societal pressure shoves you another. It's no coincidence, it's design. Jesus warned his circle, "The world will hate you because it hated me," tying it to these vibrations clashing with control. And as we uncover more types, you'll see how each plays a part, building to the one that dismantles it all. The fourth type, the teacher, thrives on sharing wisdom, symptoms emerging as frustration when truths go unheard. Like prepping a sermon in your mind during casual chats, words bubbling up unbidden. At a neighborhood block party, kids chasing fireflies, adults swapping stories, you're itching to weave in deeper lessons on purpose, but it falls flat. Causes: a soul tie linked to the rabbinic tradition Jesus embodied, disseminating light the Matrix suppresses through misinformation floods. Neurological studies on knowledge transfer show teachers wired for pattern recognition, making complex ideas accessible. Solutions involve patient platforms, starting blogs or small groups, echoing Jesus' parables. David, a 38-year-old accountant in Chicago, bottled his insights until a layoff forced him to teach financial freedom classes laced with spiritual truths. "It was like unlocking a dam," he shared, his voice steady over coffee steam. Lives transformed, and so did his. Now the fifth, the warrior. Bold, action-oriented symptoms as bottled rage against injustice, fists clenching at stories of corruption on the evening news, a drive to confront bullies at work or school events. In the stands at your kid's game, crowd roaring, you spot the unfair ref call and want to charge the field. Causes root in prophetic zeal, like David's psalms of battle, a vibration the Matrix diverts into pointless conflicts. Adrenaline research explains the surge, but for warriors, it's holy fire, embraced through disciplined outlets, martial arts infused with prayer, advocacy campaigns. Maria from California, 45 and a former lawyer, channeled her warrior tie into environmental fights after seeing polluted beaches. From burnout to breakthrough, she led cleanups that rippled nationwide. Hanging on, good, because the sixth type, the mystic, dives into the unseen realms. Symptoms: vivid dreams that linger like fog, synchronicities popping up, seeing repeating numbers on clocks during commutes, a song on the radio mirroring your mood, alone in your suburban kitchen, coffee brewing, you sense presences, whispers from beyond. Causes: direct communion with the divine mystery, akin to John's apocalyptic visions, which the Matrix drowns in rationalism. Mystics' brain scans show heightened theta waves, portals to intuition, transformation, ritual integration, dream journals, meditative hikes. Ethan, a 41-year-old engineer in Seattle, dismissed his visions until a near-miss accident synced with a dream warning. Now he blends tech with mysticism in workshops, bridging worlds. The seventh, the prophet, foretells shifts, symptoms as urgent premonitions, gut feelings about market crashes or family rifts, dismissed as anxiety. During holiday prep, wrapping gifts under twinkling lights, a voice warns of coming storms, literal or figurative. Causes: a tie to future timelines, like Isaiah's oracles, threatening the Matrix's predictive control via data mining. Prophets tap precognitive neural pathways, rare but real. Steps: discernment prayer, sharing selectively. Rachel from New York, 39 and a journalist, ignored her prophecies until they proved true in exposés. Her voice now guides ethical reporting, a force for truth. And now, the revelation you've been waiting for, the eighth type, the liberator. This soul tie vibrates at a frequency that shatters the Matrix, symptoms as constant rebellion, questioning authority at every turn, exposing hypocrisies in systems from government to churches. You're the one at town halls, mic in hand, calling out the strings, in boardrooms, challenging unethical deals. The cause? A pure, unadulterated link to Christ's liberating power, the one that toppled temples and defied empires. Science glimpses it in chaos theory, how small perturbations unravel complex systems, but spiritually, it's the divine disruptor, the powers incinerated from texts. Why only this one crushes it? Because the first 7 sustain the chosen community, seeing, healing, guarding, teaching, fighting, mystifying, prophesying, but the 8th integrates them all, wielding a vibration that frequencies out control. Jesus saved this for last in the grove, his voice dropping. This tie will face the fiercest opposition, for it unravels the lie. If you're the liberator, life's battles, betrayals, isolations were forging you for this. Symptoms peak in midlife. That urge to quit the soul-sucking job, rally against injustices, even if it costs comfort. But here's the hope. Transformation is possible. Start with self-identification. Reflect on which type resonates deepest. For liberators, amplify through the 30-day journey in Call of the Chosen, a guide echoing Jesus' secrets. Steps include vibration-raising meditations, community building away from matrix influences, and bold actions like public truth-sharing. You've journeyed far with me today, from that hidden grove to the core of your being. We've unpacked the symptoms that mirror your struggles, the alienation in crowds, the empathy overloads, the prophetic itches. We've revealed the causes, divine entanglements clashing with a control web built on fear and distraction. And we've lit the path to solutions, stories of real Americans like Sarah, Tom, Lisa, David, Maria, Ethan, and Rachel, stepping into their ties, lives alight with purpose. If you're the seer, your visions are gifts, not curses. Healer, your compassion mends worlds. Guardian, your watchfulness saves souls. Teacher, your words awaken. Warrior, your fire purifies. Mystic, your depths connect. Prophet, your foresight guides. And liberator, if that's you, know your battles were never in vain. You're the one the Matrix dreads, the vibration that frees us all. This truth buried for millennia is yours now. Don't let it fade. Grab Call of the Chosen, the 30-day journey today. It's your map with daily practices drawn from Jesus' unveiling, exclusive insights only for those ready to break free, limited spots for the guided audio series. Claim it before the noise drowns it out. You've felt the call. Answer it. Subscribe for more revelations, like if this stirred your soul. Comment your type below. Share with a fellow chosen one. Remember, the matrix crumbles when we rise together. You're not just surviving, you're shattering chains. Go forth, chosen one, and let your light unravel the dark. Picture this, the sun dipping low over the dusty hills outside Jerusalem, casting long shadows that swallow the world whole. The golden light fracturing through olive branches like shards of divine promise. It's just days after the impossible has happened. The tomb empty, the stone rolled away, whispers of resurrection rippling through the air like a secret too big to contain, carrying the faint metallic tang of fear and hope mingled in the evening breeze. But not everyone gets to hear the full story, not the crowds, not the curious. No, Jesus pulls aside a handful of his closest, a quiet circle of souls who've walked through fire with him, their faces etched with the kind of weariness that comes from seeing too much, feeling too deeply, eyes shadowed by grief, yet flickering with unspoken awe. They're huddled in a forgotten olive grove, away from the Roman patrols and the temple guards. The air thick with the scent of wild thyme, and earth still warm from the day. The ground beneath them soft and yielding, as if the land itself cradles their trembling forms. He looks at them, his eyes holding that steady fire, piercing through the twilight like embers refusing to die, and says something that stops their hearts. You've been chosen, but not all chosen are the same. There are strands within you, ties to the divine that bind you to this world in ways the powers above and below fear to acknowledge. As the words hang in the air, a gentle wind stirs the leaves overhead, almost as if creation itself pauses to listen, amplifying the weight of the moment, inviting each disciple to feel the invisible threads tightening around their souls. You've felt it, haven't you? That pull in your chest right now, as if some ancient voice is whispering your name, a soft vibration that resonates with the rhythm of your heartbeat, stirring memories you can't quite place. You're not here by accident. Scrolling through your feed after another long day at the office, kids' soccer practices blurring into dinner that's thrown together from whatever's left in the fridge, the sizzle of ground beef in a pan, the distant hum of the dishwasher. And suddenly, this video catches your eye, its thumbnail glowing like a beacon amid the endless scroll of ads and memes. It's not just another feel-good spiritual talk. It's a key turning in a lock you didn't even know was there, the click echoing in your mind long after the sound fades. If you're over 35, grinding through the American dream that's starting to feel more like a cage, bills stacking up like unspoken accusations on the kitchen counter, relationships fraying at the edges with quiet arguments that linger like smoke, that nagging sense that Sunday church or your meditation app isn't quite filling the void, leaving you with a hollow ache that no amount of scrolling can soothe, then listen close. This isn't about vague promises or quick fixes. It's about Jesus unveiling a truth buried for centuries, scorched from ancient texts by those who built empires on control, their ink-stained hands erasing passages that could have freed generations. 8 soul tie types, he called them, unique vibrations etched into the chosen ones like you, each one a distinct hum in the symphony of creation, pulsing with purpose. And here's the gut punch. Only one of them holds the power to shatter the invisible matrix that's got us all dancing to someone else's tune. A web so finely spun that we mistake its strands for our own choices. Think about your life for a second. The way you wake up some mornings with this unexplained heaviness, like the weight of the world is pressing down before your feet even hit the floor. The sheets tangled around you as if trying to hold you back from the day. Or those nights when the house is quiet, everyone asleep, and you stare at the ceiling, the faint glow of streetlights seeping through the blinds, wondering why success, the house with its creaking floors, the car idling in the driveway, the 401k statements arriving like hollow trophies, feels so hollow, a polished shell echoing with emptiness. It's not depression, not burnout, not midlife crisis like the therapists label it in their sterile offices, handing out pamphlets that feel as thin as the advice. It's a calling echoing from deeper than your bones, a soul tie pulling you towards something bigger, an insistent tug that whispers of destinies unmet and truths untold. Jesus knew this. In that hidden grove, he leaned in and said, "The world is woven with threads of illusion, a matrix of control spun by forces that fear the light, shadows cast by principalities that thrive in the dark." And as he spoke, the air seemed to hum, the leaves rustling like they were listening too, the disciples' breaths sinking in a collective inhale, as if the revelation was rewriting the very fabric of their reality. You're nodding right now, aren't you? Because you've tried fitting in, joining the PTA with its endless meetings in fluorescent-lit school gyms, climbing the corporate ladder with handshakes that feel scripted, posting the perfect family pics on Instagram, filters smoothing over the cracks, but it all feels like playing a role in someone else's script, the applause ringing false in your ears. That disconnect? It's your soul tie awakening, signaling you're not meant for the ordinary grind, a divine alarm clock buzzing beneath the surface of routine. Authorities through history, emperors in gilded palaces issuing edicts, popes in vaulted cathedrals condemning heresies, shadowy councils in smoke-filled rooms plotting to maintain the status quo, have hunted these teachings, burning scrolls and silencing voices because they threaten the order, the fragile illusion of power that crumbles under the light of awakened souls. But here, in this moment, it's resurfacing for you, rising like dawn through the cracks of forgotten lore. Press your hand to your heart again. Feel that warmth. That's the echo Jesus promised, drawing you to uncover your type among the 8, a personal invitation etched in the stars of your lineage. And if you're the 8th, well, that changes everything, upending the foundations of what you thought you knew. but we'll get there. First, let's walk through what it means to carry one of these ties, why it shows up in your daily battles, the subtle skirmishes in grocery aisles and office cubicles, and how embracing it sets you free, unlocking a cascade of purpose that flows like living water. Imagine you're at a family barbecue. The smell of charcoal grilling burgers wafting through the backyard, thick and savory, mingling with the sweet char of corn on the cob, laughter bubbling up from cousins you haven't seen in years, their voices carrying across the lawn like echoes of simpler times. Everyone's chatting about promotions that sound more like burdens, new vacations planned around work constraints, the latest Netflix binge that numbs the evenings away. But you're on the edges, nursing a soda, the fizz tickling your throat as condensation drips cool against your fingers, your mind drifting to questions no one else seems to ask. Why are we here, chasing these fleeting highs? What's the point of all this hustle if it ends in dust, scattered like ashes on the wind? That isolation isn't loneliness. It's the first symptom of a chosen soul tie stirring, a quiet rebellion against the superficial tide. For Americans like us, pushing 40 or beyond, these signs hit hard in the quiet moments. The drive home from work with traffic crawling like molasses, horns blaring in frustration, radio droning on about politics that feel rigged from the start. And a sudden wave of unease washing over you, cold and insistent, like a shadow passing over the sun. You've got the mortgage payments due like clockwork, the minivan loaded with soccer gear and grocery bags, the Sunday potluck at church where casseroles steam under foil. But inside, it's like a radio tuned to a frequency the world's not broadcasting, static, crackling with signals from afar. Take Sarah from Ohio, a mom of two in her late 40s, teaching high school English. She'd always been the reliable one, volunteering for every committee, her planner filled with color-coded notes, smiling through the exhaustion that etched lines around her eyes. But lately, grading papers at her kitchen table, the fluorescent light buzzing overhead like a persistent insect, the scent of leftover spaghetti lingering in the air, she'd feel this itch, like her skin didn't fit right, a prickling unease that made her shift in her chair. Conversations with colleagues about lesson plans or weekend plans left her drained, as if words were bouncing off an invisible wall, their small talk echoing hollowly, while deeper truths clamored for release. "It's like I'm watching everyone else live," she told her journal one night. The house creaking in the winter wind outside, pages turning under the dim lamp's glow, her pen scratching out confessions long suppressed. That was her soul tie calling, the subtle alienation that marks the chosen, a divine separation preparing you for clarity amid chaos. Not everyone feels it. Your neighbor might thrive in the 9-to-5 rhythm, coffee in hand, deadlines met with satisfaction, but you're wired different, sensing the undercurrents, the unseen strings pulling at society, tugging at the collective soul like puppet masters in the fog. And it's not just emotional. These symptoms weave into your body too. The tension headaches after board meetings where decisions feel soulless, throbbing at your temples like a drumbeat of dissent. The restless nights tossing in sheets that suddenly feel too confining, sweat dampened and twisted, dreams fragmented with symbols you can't decode. You've probably chalked it up to stress, popped an Advil with a glass of tap water that tastes metallic, and powered through, masking the signal with the noise of productivity. But Jesus saw this coming. In that post-resurrection hush, with the grove's shadows lengthening and the first stars pricking the sky, he described, "Attention, you need to prepare now. I put together an exclusive resource for those who feel set apart for something greater, but live surrounded by noise, distractions, and mental overload. This is a 30-day journey that will transform your life. A guided path to armor your mind and prepare for what's coming with daily practices of focus, boundaries, and discipline. Stop negotiating with the noise. Learn to spot distractions before they control you. and strengthen your mind. Also available in an immersive audio version. Over 10 Zuru readers have already transformed their lives through the 30-day journey. Thousands of people have already started this transformation. People like you who are tired of living in the fog. Ordinary people who decided to stop accepting mental chaos. Take advantage of this limited time offer only this month. Access your link just below in the pinned comment.